For me, man, I'm excited to fight February 2nd against Jay Hieron. To me, it's not really a big jump. I try not to, get really caught up in the hype of fighting in the UFC. I think the last opponent I fought was probably a little bit more dangerous than Jay. Jay's a seasoned veteran. He's very hard to put away. He's got a lot of experience. A lot of people, if you look at his record, he doesn't have a ton of losses. So for me, the style of fighting I need to do, the explosive, getting in close, beating them down, I need to do that against everyone. So this is the perfect matchup for me to showcase that, show the UFC what I'm all about, and basically almost declare war on the rest of the welterweight division, so they know I'm here and put me right back in the mix. Yeah, Jay trains with Randy Couture, who's my agent. So I see him when I'm in Vegas training at Randy's gym. We've been in the same gym probably 10 times. We never trained together. I think in our minds we have a mutual respect, but we just know that at some point we're going to have to punch each other in the face. So I think that, that's kept us away from training together. And, he was in Strikeforce for a while, and I just saw us at some point fighting. So in my mind, I've been kind of watching the style and see what he brings to the table, just thinking that, one day I might fight this individual. Well, basically, the UFC is the Vaseline. They're the Vaseline of mixed martial arts, and it is the highest platform you can fight on. But for me, I just want to fight big fights. I want to make it to the top. I want to be one of the best fighters in the world. I've never told myself I want to just make it to the UFC. I always knew I was going to fight in the UFC. It was never if, it was never when. It was just I wanted to get there when I was supposed to be there, when my market value is where it should be at. And right now it's perfect timing for me. I'm fighting a guy who's off a very close fight with Jake Ellenberger, who the UFC is very high on. So putting this guy away on a blasting card like we're going to fight on Jose Aldo and Frankie Edgar, I think for me it's a great way to send a message, not only to the organization but the other guys I might fight in the future. And then I can start asking for those bigger bouts, the guys that are, all those guys that are fighting in March, those are the guys I want to fight next. So I got to get through this guy in dominant fashion, show all my fans, show all the guys, here at ATT Evolution, everybody that trains me, what I can do, because they know, but now I got to show everyone else. When looking at the guys getting brought over, I saw 4 or 5 guys get brought over from Strikeforce to the UFC. In my mind, it was never a doubt of whether or not I was going to UFC or not. It was kind of a given. It was just when I was going to fight. I wanted to fight often because right now it's a lot of buzz. Strikeforce coming in the UFC, you want to fight during that time. That's when the fans are going to get behind you. That's when you're going to get the best matchups because they want to see what are interesting matchups to make happen. So for me, it was never a what if. I never had any anxiety that I wasn't going to get scooped up. I'm always at UFC fights. I'm cornering guys. I'm there watching. So for me, it was never any kind of panic mode. It was just how I went over. I didn't want to go over fighting guys at the bottom of the totem pole with not a lot of name recognition that are extremely tough, and then I fight a super risky fight and it's not much reward. So I wanted to fight guys that have a name, like Jay Hieron, like Martin Kampman, like Nick Diaz, like Johnny Hendricks, guys like that when you beat those guys, they have either fought for a title or they're on their way to a title. So I can either jump them in line or I can go where they left off. So that's important to me, to take strategic fights and not just go out there. It's not a tough man contest, You got a small gap where you can do this and you can be the best of the best for so long. So what I want to focus on is getting to the top in the right way. Stylistically, I'm a nightmare for Nick Diaz. I don't think he's dodged me. He hasn't dodged one fighter in his career probably. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. He's about to fight for a world title, and most likely he's going to take some time off after that. So any fight that they offer me, it's not Strikeforce, it's not any other organization. They put a fight in front of you, you're going to take that fight. So hopefully they just have my best interest in hand, see who I match up well with, and they want to see me make some noise and go after Georges St. Pierre. So whatever fight they offer me, I'll take. Obviously Nick Diaz is one of the top guys. I would definitely take that fight pretty easily, and there's other guys I would like to fight as well.
Get your St. Louis MMA fix at knucklejunkies.com.